So I'm up on YouTube and I apologize. I don't know why my normal camera isn't engaging, but we're just going to go with it. So, all right. And so I'm a little bit late, but I'm up on Facebook as well. All right. So finished getting ready. The YouTube thing kind of threw me off this morning. What's new? All right. Good? I think. All right. Sorry, I apologize for that as well. But all right, so I'm not sure what to do. Normal camera isn't behaving. So let's see. This is so bad, you guys. I'm sorry. That might do. So I cut off my head a lot on YouTube. I don't know if you guys ever hop over there to see, but I do. Probably gonna be even more today, but whatever. We're good, right? Yeah. All right. It's always something, isn't it? Don't you feel like that sometimes? So it's time, right? Hello. I can't tell who's here, but we're gonna go with it. Okay. So a couple of things. I'm considering doing a like a Zoom or something personal and private and small one evening a week. So if you're interested in that, drop me a line here or contact me through Anyday Yoga, anydayyoga.com, or on Facebook or wherever you can reach out. And let me know if you're interested in that. I just feel like I need to get back in the swing of teaching a little bit more than just this. And I haven't found a studio here yet, or a gym or whatever. So that's where we're at. Today we're going to be working on really stretching our hamstrings out. Go at your own pace, right? You don't have to work yourself into a pretzel to stretch your muscles. All right. So do what feels right. Modify what isn't quite there for you. And if you feel like throwing an extra pose in here or there, go, right? This is your practice. You're at home. Nobody's watching tonight or today anyway. So, yeah, let's go ahead and go. We're going to start seated. So find yourself a comfortable seat. If for a little minute you need a bolster or to sit on a blanket or something, feel free to do that as well. So we want to start with the heels aligned as much as we can. Right? They don't have to be close to your body, wherever they are. Make sure that you're upright on your pelvis, especially if you are sitting on something, especially if it's a little bit cushioned. Right? It's easy to get misaligned. And then let's sit nice and tall here. So lift the pelvic floor, pull the lower belly in and up, and sit tall through your sides. Try to relax your hips and shoulders as much as you can. And again, once you get here, if you feel like you need that little extra lift, pop it up. Closing your eyes. Checking in that your head is in line with the rest of your spine, not leaning forward or turned or shifting over to one side. Everything is aligned from the crown of your head to the tip of your tailbone, sort of. And just allow yourself to be here for a moment. Noticing how your body feels, maybe what it wants a little bit more or less this morning. Begin to notice your breath. Same idea. The breath gives us some cues as to how we're feeling. Hopefully this morning it's nice and Smooth and easy. Breathing out through the nose, allow that breath to expand. Remember that the exhalations are just as important as the inhalations. So as your inhales get bigger, see if you can exhale a little bit more completely. We're not necessarily working to extremes this morning. Just finding that nice, easy breath for our flow. And remember, that's the important thing. So if you're not breathing in a pose, something went wrong. Right? So maintain the breath and gradually work yourself into the position. So we're going to keep what we have here. Go ahead and extend the arms out to the sides. With the next inhalation, stretch them up to the ceiling. And then exhale, bring them back down again. We'll do it again. And then go once more like that. Inhaling, come on up to the top. This time, exhale, just your right hand to the up and give yourself a little tip to that side. Keep the pelvis level. Take a nice big breath. And with the next inhalation, come on back to center. And we'll switch. Take it left. Back to center. Inhale. Once more like that over to the right. Maybe find a little deeper stretch this time, or just checking in and making it more aligned. Bringing it back to center. Over to the left. Inhale back to the middle. And exhale both arms. So let's take the right hand over to the left knee, left hand behind the body. Just an easy little twist. Keeping the pelvis level sit up nice and tall, extend through the crown of the head. Make this one just gentle and easy. And then we're going to release that back to the center. Unwind, take it over to your second side. Same idea, just a nice, easy little twist. We'll release that back to the middle and go back to that first side, taking this one a little bit deeper. So sitting up a little bit more precisely, maybe. Really engage into that left hand. Right knee, or the right hand may not quite meet the knee. Keeping the shoulder back, rotating around a little deeper. Maybe if you're ready for it. Looking over the shoulder even. And then unwinding that back to the middle. Same idea to that second side. So really being precise about where your pelvis is, the length of your spine. And again, opening up a little bit deeper this time, if you're ready for that. And then let's release it and come back to center again. So we're going to take both hands to the knees. On an inhale here, draw the shoulder blades together on the back and lift the chest toward the ceiling. Exhale, rounding through the spine, think forehead to belly button. And then in and out like that. So as you inhale, you lift. And on the exhale, we round. We'll take a few more flows like that. Stretching out the spine, the muscles along the spine. Once more in each direction. And then come on back to center. Here we're going to take the hands, and when we fold, we want to avoid collapsing, right? So everything gets squished up in the middle, right? So we're going to add the arms in first. So take the fingers and interlace them behind your lower back. Pull the shoulder blades together and stretch the knuckles toward the floor. And this is maybe where you stay. Right? But if you'd like, see about hinging forward, think belly button to heels. Keeping the shoulders pulling together on the back and the knuckles stretching away from the body. So you may still be touching the floor or not. The hands or the arms really can rest on the lower back or not. Just taking a couple of nice big breaths here. With the next inhalation, make your way back up to neutral. Think about where your fingers are. Release your hands, and we're going to switch our feet. So put your other foot in front. And I say this periodically, change it up. Right? We start with the right foot in front and end class with the left foot. Right? Just keeping the body as symmetrical as possible. Right? We're not perfectly symmetrical. It's okay. Take the fingers and release them behind the back with your other thumb on top. If you can remember. Pull the shoulder blades together, knuckles stretch away, and we hinge forward again. So maybe it feels a little awkward, and that's right. Yeah. Same idea though, keeping the shoulders back, the spine in alignment. And then inhaling, gently hinging back up again. Release your fingers. And let's stretch the legs out. Take your time getting there, and then we can get stuck sometimes. Taking the legs long, as if we're standing up. So feet hip bone distance apart, toes pointing up toward the ceiling. The spine is in this neutral position. So if it helps you keep your spine here, maybe your hands stay on the floor, or you can even interlace behind the back again if that little trick works for you. If you'd like to add in the arms, extending up, right? We can hinge forward, and then we can't hinge any further. You can definitely leave your arms up if that's you, or just let your hands fall into you. So your thighs, your shins, your toes, maybe, right? Shoulders down and back. Nice big breaths here, and you'll notice you start in one place and hopefully end in a little bit deeper. We'll get there. No rush. One more breath. With the next inhalation, we're coming back up to the top. Release your arms. And we're going to open the feet. So take a straddle. And it doesn't have to be big and wide. Feel a nice little stretch in the inner thigh here. And check in to make sure you still feel upright on your pelvis. That's the important piece. Pelvis is upright and the spine is tall. The legs are wherever they are. So let's go ahead and reach up. Rotate around toward the left leg, and we're going to fold over this leg. Same idea though, if you want to keep your hands back by your hips or interlace behind your back, that's perfectly fine. Don't reach for the toe. Just let where the hands go where they. Notice if that right sit bone got a little light and see if you can keep it grounded. And just like when we folded forward, notice how after a breath or two, maybe it eases up a little. You know, a nice big breath. And then we'll hinge back up again. Rotate around to the right and do the same thing here. And if you want to change up your arms at any point, if you want to add something in, or maybe this shoulder doesn't feel good in this place, so move where your hands need to be. There's nothing magic about it. One more nice big breath here. And then bringing it back up to the middle, releasing the arms. So let's take that left hand, we're going to pin it up underneath the right leg. Reach the right arm up and hinge over to the left. So see if you can bring your elbow more to the inner thigh. If you can take it to the floor, great. We want to press against the thigh to open the right shoulder toward the ceiling. So again, not collapsing over the leg. The upper body is still nice and open. The shoulders relaxed. And again, if that's too much, maybe the hand on the hip or I don't know, somewhere else. We're taking one more nice big breath here. And then inhaling to bring it back up. Releasing the left hand and then switching, same idea, right hand under the left thigh. Reach up, take it over. Using the leverage of the inner thigh here, open that left shoulder and look up. And again, making the adjustments. If looking up is no good, look down. Right? If the arm over the ear is no good, maybe right, just rest it on the thigh. We all have our injuries or our sensitivities, and we want to respect that. Yes, we'd like to be mobile, but we also need to work with what we're given. On an inhalation, let's get back up. And release both hands to the middle. Same idea, the body's upright now. Hinge forward right into the middle here. Again, kind of thinking that belly button to the floor rather than just reaching the arms out and collapsing. Watch the feet. Flexed. Watch that the toes don't roll in. I'm still able to notice if you start in one place and after a breath or two it's a little different. Another nice big breath here. And then we'll hinge back up again. Bringing the feet back in. Bounce them around, bring some life back to the legs. And then we're going to come around onto all fours. And instead of being in this tabletop position, let's transition into a kneeling plank. So hands forward or knees back or however you make that happen. And then just hold. So think about the four corners of the hands. nice and even. Really grounding into the base of the index finger. The belly's in, the shoulders are neutral on the back. Pelvis isn't hanging. And then finding a full plank. We are not going to be here long, so if you do need to stay on your knees, feel free. Heads in line with the spine, breathing. And then we're going to lift into our down dog. So shift the hips back. Let yourself wiggle around. Check in to make sure that your feet are in that hip bone distance place. If you need to open them or bring them closer together, make sure you do. Avoid walking the feet closer to the hands just to get your heels to the floor. And if you do need to take a break, we drop down to the knees and take a break, right? And then afterwards, we're settling in here, pressing through the heels. Head is in line with the shoulders here. Let's bring the right foot forward into a lunge. If you need your left knee on the floor, make sure you take it. We're just going to wiggle around a little bit. And then we're going to take the right leg straighter. Maybe go straight, maybe it doesn't quite. If you need to prop up, use blocks or your shin. Might be a little challenging to balance. Just take your time. Drop that knee if that's where you are. Holding nice and deep over this right leg. And then bending back into the knee, back to down dog. So same idea on the second side. We'll step the left foot forward. Wiggle. Make your adjustments. Bring the ankle up underneath the knee or forward underneath the knee. Find your center, and then when you're ready, take the left leg straighter. And notice if your upper body has collapsed or if you still got your shoulders drawn back, your spine is nice and long. So yeah, we're stretching our hamstring, but we want to pay attention to those things as well. And then we'll make our way back to down dog again. So from this down dog, let's slide forward, come to plank. Holding again. Feel free to drop down to your knees if you need to be on your knees. We're going to bend the elbows tight to the sides and drop to the belly. Hands next to the side ribs more than underneath the shoulders. Keeping the toenails on the floor. Turn your tailbone down and roll the shoulders together. Squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them. Curling the chest, lifting it away from the floor. Keeping the elbows tucked to the sides. And then gently release that. Everything up off the floor together. So press your knees into the floor, trying not to just lift your chest and belly at the same time. All the way back up into our plank and down dog. We'll walk the feet forward and come to standing fold. One step, whatever, however you get there. Grounding the four corners of their feet like we talked about with our hands. Feet hip bone distance apart, toes are pointing forward. Let's take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back again. Shoulders pull together and then we'll stretch away. We'll take one more breath. And then release the arms. Let's take a little bend into the knees here. And with your inhalation, roll up through your spine all the way to a standing position. So we're going to move into our sun salutes. Take your time, modify, skip something. Stay on the knees, be off your knees, wherever you need to be. Okay? So keeping it simple, the first one, we're just going to inhale, stretch the arms. Exhale, take it back to your fold. Inhaling, come halfway up. Shoulders back. Exhale, step back to your plank or kneeling. Drop it down to the belly. Hands next to the sideburns as we roll into that cobra. You can make it a little bigger this time. Keep the elbows in, everything up off the floor, up and back together. Inhale, step forward. Next, inhale, halfway up. Folding back over again. And then all the way up to the ceiling. Releasing the arms. So another one just like that. Inhaling as you lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back to your plank. Down to the belly. Into cobra. Back to down dog. And forward into the fold. Halfway up. Exhale over. Reaching for the ceiling. And exhaling to release. Mm-hmm. So that's the idea. Whether it looks exactly like that, or you need a modification, or you need an extra breath somewhere, that's what you need, right? So we're going to do one more like that, and I'm going to shout now, and you're just going to do your thing, right? If you get lost, peek. But that's pretty simple, and if you've been with me for a minute, you've done it right now. So let's go. This is it. Inhale, reach the arms, and go. So you can do those anywhere you want, right? You can throw them in, throw an extra pose here or there, and modify it to make it yours. Okay? So we're going to do one more. We are going to add a couple of things in. So listen to your body and let's do it. So inhale, sit into chair. And then exhale to your fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back to plank. Down to the belly. And into cobra, opening up a little deeper if that's where you are. Back to down dog, elbows in. Inhale, right foot forward lunge. Take your time getting your toes up to your fingers. Knee ball alignment, right? Drop the back heel or knee and lift the upper body, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, come on back down again, back to down dog. Slide forward to plank. Take it down. It's cobra. Back to down dog. Left foot forward this time. So we'll go all the way up there. Heel or knee to the mat and lift. Exhale back down again into down dog. Forward into plank. Exhale to the belly. Cobra. Back to down dog. So hold in that down dog or drop into child's pose. You decide. Nice, smooth breaths. If you drop down, lift back to down dog. And on an inhale, step the feet forward into fold. Halfway up. Exhale back down. Into chair. And exhale to release it all. All right. So enough of that. Let's take a short step back with the left foot. All 10 toes point forward. So modify that so that your back heel can be on the floor and you have as much weight in your right foot as you do in the left, or vice versa, really. When you find that, bend into the right knee. And then make that adjustment. The left heel stays on the floor. Keeping the hips square. If you need a little wider stance here, it can be a little tricky for the balance. Let's reach the arms. But again, you can modify the arms to be wherever you need them to. So maybe on the hips, interlace doing your back, if that's you. And from here, we'll take the hands to interlace. So if they weren't before, go ahead and do that. Shoulders pull toward each other, knuckles stretch away. We're going to fold forward over the right leg. Stay even on your feet. And then see about taking the right leg straight. Ish. Change up your arms if you need them. Listen to your body. Release the hands, bend back into the knee and come to lunge. Lifting the back foot up off the floor, take all the weight into the right leg. And ideally the right leg goes straight, maybe not. Maybe you don't need your hands on the floor. And then we lift the upper body parallel to the floor with the left leg. So the arms are where they need to be. If that means the floor, that means the floor. Keeping the shoulders back, the belly in. A gentle bend back into the right knee. Take the left foot back to the floor. We're moving to warrior one where we started. Like it never happened. Let's release it all. Step back to the top of the mat. And we'll move to the second side. So you know where we're going. Take your time getting there. That short-ish step back with the right foot. 10 toes pointing forward. Hips square. Left knee is bent. And then the arms, of course, go where the arms go. If they're not already, take the fingers to interlace behind the back. Pulling the shoulders back, stretching the knuckles away. Staying open in the front of the body as you come forward. Get steady. And then see about taking the left leg straight. Releasing the fingers. Bend into the knee and lunge. And then all the weight in this left foot as we lift the right leg. Maybe lift the hands. Lifting the upper body parallel to the floor, flying the arms wherever the arms need to be. Bending back into the left knee, right foot back to the floor and into our warrior one. And then you release, stepping back to the top of the mat. And sometimes it's all smooth and graceful. And so take a nice big step back with the left foot again. And straddle on your mat, facing the long edge. So toes point forward here, taking the hands to the hips. Support on the thighs if that's too much. You want to keep those shoulders back and come into a half fold. So bringing your upper body parallel to the floor again. Notice if you shift all the weight back into your heels, try to stay nice and centered in your feet. Keep the hands on the hips and move into a full fold, whatever that looks like for you. Keep the shoulders back as the hands move toward the floor. You may not touch the floor. You might need to support on your shins. Okay. We're going to bend into the knees enough so that you can take your index and middle fingers and wrap them around the big toes. Four corners of the feet. Bend your elbows out to the side so you can take your legs straight, lovely. If not, don't worry about it. You can even pull against the toes to draw a little deeper into the fold. Releasing the toes. One more time, take the fingers behind the lower back, pull them together, stretch the knuckles away. Release the hands. And then support on your hands a little bit so we can turn the toes to the corners-ish of your mat. So roughly 45 degrees. We'll see if that's where they need to be. So when you bend into your right knee, you want the knee to be in line with the toes or with the ankle, right? So if you need to turn your toes in or out, that's how you can tell. We're going to flow back and forth like that. So as you exhale, bend into the knee. And as you inhale, come back to center. So moving side to side like that. And just kind of check in. Make sure you adjust where your feet are. Because like with anything else, you might set it up in one place and then need to adjust as the body stretches a little bit, right? Let's go one more time, side to side. And then back to the middle, turning the toes forward again. Take the hands here, and we're going to walk them forward. So the hips are going to come down, kind of like a wide-legged plank idea, but then sink through your hips. Let them really drop in. Come on back up into your straddle. Do it again, come forward. Drop down. And then back again. One more time. Instead of walking forward this time, we're going to turn the fingers around to point behind and see about walking backward. So now if you're just very excited to have your hands between your feet, great. If the knees need to be a little bit bent here, no big deal at all. See how far you can reach behind you. Keep the shoulders down and back. And if you want a little more sensation, you can pull against the floor, bending your elbows, Dragging your body between feet. And then gently release all that. Walk the hands around to your right foot. Step back to down dog. And dropping down to the knees. Take a little child's pose. Let's sit up on the heels. And we're going to bring the legs around front. So sitting up nice and tall, make sure you feel upright on your pelvis. Reach the arms. And come into your fold again. Shoulders down and back, the hands fall where they fall. If you still need your hands back by your hips, you do. Take another nice big breath. And then lifting up out of this fold just a little bit. Or staying where you are, depending on where you were. From here, we're going to bend into the right knee enough that we can grab onto the foot. And really grab onto it. Have your fingers on the sole of your foot, your thumbs on the top here. Right? Hang on and lean back. So this leg can absolutely 100% stay bent. If you can take it straight, go ahead. So either way, bend your elbows up to the sides so the shoulders stay down and back. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot and release your right hand. Keep that foot pointing forward rather than coming across the body. And then take the right arm and reach behind you. Start twisting. And your hand can hit the floor or just extend toward the wall behind you. Or actually, if you're at the wall, touch it. Bring the right hand back to the foot, ground. And bend into the knee if it's not already. And see about drawing your knee into your armpit. Pull it back. And then let it go a little bit. Pull it back. And stretch it out. Do that one more time. Pull the knee as far into your armpit as you can. Maybe it's even behind your armpit. And then just for fun, see if you can take this right hand and bring it under your leg. Okay? If you're still with me, take the left hand and reach for the outside of the foot. Take your right hand, keep the arm kind of behind your right thigh there, and bring the hand to the floor. Feels weird. Can you take your right leg straighter? And maybe it's not straight, just straighter. Take a nice big breath, and release all that nonsense. Extending the leg out long. Adjusting your seat if you got a little crooked or misaligned. Reach up. Come forward. And then we're going to do the same idea again. So coming up out of that fold as much as you need, so you can take the hands and wrap them around the foot. Bent knee, if you need bent knee, straight leg, whatever, doesn't matter. Hang on and lean back. So lifting the foot, elbows out so the shoulders stay back, keeping the chest lifted. Take the right hand this time, grab for the outside of the foot. Left hand reaches back. And again, keep this left foot pointing forward, not crossing over. Stretching the left arm around, keeping the spine tall. You're breathing, right? And bringing that back to the foot. This time bending the knee and drawing it in underneath that armpit. Same idea, a couple of times, forward and back. And then draw it back as far as it'll go. See how weird that is. Take the left arm under, kind of hang out. This is still pretty crazy. Maybe take the right hand to the outside of the foot, the left hand, keeping the arm behind the leg there, plant it right at your sit bone, and maybe the left leg will go straighter. And if it's not straight, don't worry about it. Sit up nice and tall, you're breathing wherever you are. And then gently release it all. One last time, reach up. Flow forward. And this time, let yourself flop. Little cushion bend into the knees, roll on up to your spine again, through your spine again. Sitting tall, taking the feet flat. Hang on to your hamstrings, make sure there's somewhere for you to go behind you. And then roll back. Hugging the knees into the chest and rocking. We'll take the feet flat to the floor. And then we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. Trying to keep the left knee as open as it will be. The left foot flexed. Fingers interlace behind the right thigh here. That left hand reaches through the middle. Some people have problems with that. Keep the shoulders down and back. Try and keep your tailbone pointing toward the floor. And see if you can gently draw the right leg in toward your chest. And we've gotten pretty deep into those hamstrings, so if you want to take your right leg straight, that's totally fine. Keep your feet flexed. And again, work to keep the spine neutral on the floor. And then just for fun, picture yourself standing up like this. Let's bend back into the knee and release both feet to the floor. If you got a little crooked or whatever, realign and then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Foot flex, knees well open, and then interlacing the finger behind the left leg. Drawing the left leg in towards your chest. And you can take that left leg straight if you want to add that piece. And then we release back to the floor. So again, here, just align the spine. We're going to open the arms out into a T position. And then pick the hips up, move them to the right edge of the mat, dropping the knees to the left. So remember, this last twist, you can modify however you want to. Take the legs straight, you can cross the knees. You can look over your right hand. Let's take just a couple more breaths over on this side. And then bring it back to center. Shifting the hips, take them all the way over to the left, and drop the knees to the right. Same idea. So whatever you worked on the first side, move in that direction on the second. So like I said earlier, we are not perfectly symmetrical, of course, but we work toward that. And if you need to make modifications, you do. We're going to take one more breath over on this side. And then gently bring yourself back to center again. Aligning the spine. And then bringing the knees back to the chest and rocking. So go ahead and draw those knees as tight to the chest as you can. Pull your forehead to meet your knees. And then release that into a full body stretch. Get really long, use every muscle. And then let that go. Bringing the arms back down by your sides. Choose where you would like Shavasana to be. So maybe that's fully extended on the floor. Maybe you prefer your feet flat or the soles of the feet together, propped, something under your knees, legs up the wall maybe. Seated meditation if that's where you'd like to be. Just figure out what your body needs from you right now. And then allow yourself to be there. Releasing the muscles. Releasing control of your breath. And spend the next few minutes in this place. Keep your mind present, aware of what's going on around you. And just allow yourself to simply be. Slowly draw in a deep, cleansing breath, and then let it go. Wiggling fingers and toes, circling at the wrists and the ankles. Allow yourself to move and stretch. Maybe taking another full body stretch if that sounds good. And when you're ready, taking the feet flat to the floor, gently making your way up to seated again. Bringing the palms to touch. Bowing to the light within. Namaste. That was a good one. So, happy spring for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere and studying everybody. I will keep you posted about the weekday classes. And like I say, definitely reach out. And I will see you next week. Let me know if you have any suggestions or questions or whether it's big questions or little questions, whatever. All right. And I will see you next time. Thanks for practicing with me, guys. Sorry about this. I'll get this fixed, I promise.